The thing most people miss is how fast the avoidance habit generalizes. Start with sadness, and soon you're bypassing anger, then fear, then even joy when it threatens control. The psyche prefers consistency. If feeling equals low vibe, then everything that feels intense gets filed as danger. Capacity shrinks. Life narrows. You start craving certainty and ritual control, strict diets, rigid routines, because flexibility feels unsafe when the body holds unprocessed charge. There's also status. In some circles, being unbothered signals maturity, so people perform equanimity. That performance is sticky because it wins praise. But the cost is intimacy. Partners and friends sense the mismatch between your words and your micro-expressions. Trust erodes when your face says calm, but your shoulders scream braced. So you double down on spiritual language to explain the gap, which deepens the divide. Before we continue, you need to understand the brain's reward math. Avoidance pays now, costs later. Approach, turning toward pain, costs now, pays later. Without a clear method and safe pacing, your nervous system will keep picking the immediate discount. That's not a character flaw, it's conditioning. The fix isn't shaming yourself for avoiding. It's making approaching safer and more rewarding in small, repeatable ways. Here's the shortcut nobody teaches. Curiosity beats control. When you meet a feeling with precision, where is it? What shape? What intensity? You switch from identity threat to information gathering. That slight shift lowers the ego's alarm. You're not failing your spiritual identity. You're learning your organism. Once that clicks, approach becomes thinkable. There's one more vulnerability: confusion between content and capacity. People try to change thoughts while their capacity to feel is tiny, so they default to positive content. But if capacity is small, any content that's intense will feel bad. Grow capacity, and even difficult content becomes workable. That's why we front-load safety and pacing. It upgrades the system that holds the feelings, not just the story about them. So yes, we bypass because it feels good, protects identity, secures belonging, and misreads teachings. And because dysregulated systems pick numbness every time. The good news is you can retrain all of this with a method that honors your spirituality and your biology. Which raises the next question: what exactly goes wrong inside your brain and body when you suppress emotion instead of processing it? The science. What suppression does to your brain and body. Here's what suppression actually does under the hood. When you push feelings down, your body doesn't power off. It powers up. Heart rate ticks higher, blood pressure nudges up, muscles brace, and breathing goes shallow. You look composed, but your sympathetic system is doing overtime. That hidden arousal costs energy and shrinks your window of tolerance, which is why you feel fine until a tiny trigger tips you over. Decades of effective science show this trade-off. Expressive suppression increases physiological load even when it flattens visible emotion. See Gross's emotion regulation research. And ironic monitoring makes avoided thoughts rebound more strongly later. Wegner's White Bear findings. Now the ironic rebound. Try not to think about something, and your brain flags it as important. Suppressed thoughts and emotions tend to return stronger and more frequent because the monitoring system keeps checking. Is it gone yet? That repeated checking keeps the signal alive. So the more you clamp down on anger or grief, the more often it pops back, sometimes at odd hours or in displaced ways, snapping at small things or spinning mentally at night. There's a somatic storage angle too. If an emotion wants movement and expression but gets blocked, the body holds the charge as tension patterns: tight jaw, clenched pelvic floor, locked shoulders, frozen breath. Over time, those patterns feel normal, like your default posture. Shallow breathing feeds anxiety. Chronic bracing trains your system to expect threat. You think you're just sensitive, when you're actually living inside a guarded body. Let me show you why partners feel this even when you say you're okay. Humans are wired for effect matching. When the facial expression and tone don't match the body's micro-cues, the other person's nervous system reads something's off. That mismatch erodes trust. You say, "I'm at peace," while your eyes flicker and your voice flattens. They sense inauthenticity, not because you're lying on purpose, but because suppression breaks alignment between words and state. Memory plays a part. For the brain to truly update a pattern, what we call reconsolidation, reactivating a memory and pairing it with a mismatch so it updates. You need the original emotional memory active in a safe context with a new experience that contradicts it. If you suppress the emotion, the memory trace never fully activates, so it can't be revised. The old pattern stays intact and repeats. Different partner, same fight. Different job, same freeze. The reason this all holds together is completion. Emotions are physiological action programs designed to run to the end. Anger mobilizes, grief softens and releases, fear orients and protects. When you interrupt the sequence, activation remains. Unfinished. Your nervous system keeps that file open, consuming resources in the background. That's why you feel tired after being positive all day. You weren't calm, you were efforting. Common mistake time. People confuse suppression with regulation. Regulation reduces arousal while staying in contact with experience. Longer exhales, grounding touch, orienting to the room, so you can process. Suppression disconnects from experience to avoid arousal. One builds capacity, the other builds armor. A quick test. After regulation, do you feel more connected to your body and clearer about what matters? That's regulation. After suppression, do you feel numb, brittle, or performative calm? That's suppression. There's also a brain network shift to notice. Suppression leans hard on top-down control, prefrontal regions pushing down limbic signals. That works short-term, but it's metabolically costly and doesn't change the source. Skillful acceptance and contact recruit different pathways. Attention networks that include sensations without judgment, reducing limbic reactivity over time. Translation. Welcoming small doses of feeling actually lowers the need to fight it later. Okay, so what's the quick win you can try today? Practice micro-completion. When irritation flickers, pause for 20 seconds. Locate it in the body, maybe heat in the throat. Exhale longer than you inhale. Allow one natural impulse, yawn, swallow, sigh, tiny neck roll. Then reorient. 2 things you see, 1 thing you hear. You didn't analyze. You let a wave move 1 notch. That's completion in micro. Now here's where most people mess up. They add meaning too early. During the wave, your cortex wants to tell stories. Who's right, who's wrong, what this says about you. That analysis hijacks attention away from sensation and keeps the wave stuck. Save the story for later. During the wave, stay with what it's like. Pulsing, tightening, cooling, loosening. 2 minutes later, you'll have a clearer story anyway. Another consequence to name: control creep. Because suppression requires effort, you unconsciously expand control to maintain it. Rigid schedules, strict diets, perfectionism about high vibe. That rigidity isn't discipline. It's scaffolding to keep feelings contained. The fix isn't to blast it all open at once. It's to build capacity gradually, so you don't need as much scaffolding. Let me offer a tiny checkpoint. If you remember nothing else from this section, suppression raises arousal, narrows capacity, and blocks memory updating. Completion lowers arousal, widens capacity, and rewires patterns. Your nervous system doesn't need you to be positive. It needs you to be present long enough for the wave to finish. So when spirituality says rise above, and your body says bear down, believe your body first. Once the wave completes, positivity becomes congruent instead of cosmetic. And that congruence is what creates trust in you and safety in your relationships. Now, with the science in place, let's separate healthy spiritual practice from its deceptively calm look-alike, bypass. Spot the difference: spiritual practice versus spiritual bypass. Let's make this simple and specific. Start with intent. When you sit to meditate, pray, journal, or breathe, are you approaching pain or escaping pain? Curiosity sounds like, can I be with what's here? Control sounds like, how do I stop feeling this? Same posture, different motive. The first expands capacity. The second hides the mess. Now check outcomes over a few days. Real practice leaves you clearer and more flexible. You notice more options, your breath moves freely, and you can choose a response even when you're stirred up. Bypass leaves you numb or rigid. You're calm until something negative shows up. Then you clamp down or get irritated at yourself or others for lowering the vibe. If calm requires constant guarding, that's not peace, that's pressure. Language gives it away. Bypass voices rules and ceilings. High vibe only, no negative thoughts. I won't let this affect me. Healthy practice makes room and roots. I can feel this and stay grounded. I can pendulate between the sensation and a resource. I can let the wave move and then decide. One polices, the other permits. Time horizon matters. After genuine processing, you often feel softer, more open, a little tired in a good way, and later you notice expansion. Honester conversations, easier boundaries, less reactivity. With bypass, you get a temporary lift followed by a repeat loop. Same trigger, same clamp, same pressure to be okay. If your calendar is packed with practices, but your patterns don't change, that's a signal. Try the relationship test. Does your practice deepen repair? When conflicts happen, are you quicker to name impact, validate, and propose a fix? Or do you jump to spiritualized gaslighting? You're projecting. That's your story. My frequency can't engage this. If your partner, friend, or colleague consistently feels dismissed, you're probably using concepts to avoid contact. Real practice grows humility. I see my part. Here's what I'll do differently. Let me show you a fast litmus test you can use today. The 2% more test. When a feeling shows up, ask, can I feel 2% more of this without tipping over? If yes, lengthen your exhale, name one sensation, warmth in chest, and pendulate for 10 seconds to a resource. Feet on the floor, cooler air on skin. Then return to the sensation for another 10 seconds. If you can increase contact by just 2% and stay present, you're practicing. If you refuse any percent because it'll lower my vibe, that's bypass. Here's where most people mess up. They confuse detachment with dissociation. Healthy detachment is capacity. It's the space that lets you feel without drowning. Dissociation is distance. It cuts the cord so you don't have to feel at all. If you exit your body to achieve calm, that calm won't translate into relationship repair or courageous choices. If you stay in your body and widen tolerance, calm becomes usable. Another marker is how you handle uncertainty. Practice builds tolerance for not knowing while still moving forward. Bypass tries to control everything. Perfect routines, strict diets, ritual purity, to keep difficult feelings from surfacing. Ask yourself, can I adjust my ritual without spiraling? If flexibility collapses your inner order, the ritual is doing emotional containment, work your nervous system still needs to learn internally. Let's add a quick example split screen. Two people get critical feedback. Person A pauses, breathes, feels heat in the cheeks, fists soften, then asks for specifics and proposes a next step. Later, they journal to integrate. Person B smiles serenely, says, I receive this with love, then avoids the person for a week and posts about protecting energy. Both looked calm. Only one repaired. A checkpoint you can use weekly. Review your last 3 uncomfortable moments. Did your practice help you name what you felt, what you needed, and what you did? Did it lead to an action, boundary, repair, or rest? If feelings vanish but actions never change, you're probably spiritualizing avoidance. Now the game changer nobody talks about. Track breath congruence. After a practice or a conversation, ask, does my breath expand automatically, or do I have to make it happen? Spontaneous expansion signals integration. Forced expansion signals performance. Your body doesn't lie. Finally, remember the order. Practice to regulate, contact to metabolize, meaning to orient. If you jump to meaning first, mantras, reframe, cosmic storyline, you'll create calm ideas on top of active sensation. That's the bypass lookalike. Slow the sequence, and the differences become obvious. When in doubt, choose 2% more feeling and 1% fewer words. Once you nail that, everything else clicks. The 3-phase integration method overview. Here's the map that lets you keep your spirituality and stop bypassing. Safety, contact, meaning. Think of it as building a bridge your nervous system will actually cross. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. If you rush, you white-knuckle and default to old defenses. If you pace it, capacity expands, and the emotions complete. Phase 1 is safety. The goal isn't to erase the feeling. It's to create enough stability that your body can feel without flooding. You're building a container. Practically, that means orienting to the room, lengthening your exhale, setting a time box, and having resources ready. A supportive seat, a comforting object, a plan to pause. When safety is present, your system stops treating emotion like a threat. Without it, you'll chase calm with control. Phase 2 is contact. This is where you meet the exact sensation, location, shape, temperature, movement, at a dose your body can handle. We pendulate. A few seconds with the sensation, a few seconds with a resource, back and forth. That toggling keeps you engaged without drowning. You allow micro-movements, yawns, shakes, sighs, so completion impulses can happen. You stay with, what is it like right now? Not, why is it here? Analysis waits. Phase 3 is meaning. After a wave moves, there's a short window where your brain's plasticity is higher. That's when you update beliefs, boundaries, and behaviors from a calmer, truer state. You write the old story, then the lived, updated one. You make one small change. ask for a boundary, tweak a habit, or initiate a repair. This locks the emotional work into real life, so patterns shift. The thing most people miss is the order. Bypassing flips it, jumping to meaning first. We do regulation to access the feeling, not to avoid it. We feel enough to complete, then we frame. If you remember nothing else about the method, regulate to approach, contact to metabolize, meaning to integrate. Let me show you how this looks in 5 minutes. You notice tension after a tough message. Phase 1. You look around and name 5 safe cues. Light on the wall, plant on the desk, warmth in your hands. You set a 3-minute timer. Exhale longer than you inhale. Shoulders drop 2%. That's enough. Phase 2. You place attention on the tight band in your chest. You label it narrow, warm, 5 out of 10. 15 seconds there, then pendulate to a resource, sensation of your feet pressing the floor. 10 seconds there, back to the chest. The warmth moves up to the throat, intensity dips to 4. A spontaneous sigh comes, you let it. 1 more pendulation. A tiny swallow. The band loosens. Phase 3. You ask, what belief was running? Maybe it was, if I don't respond perfectly, I'll be rejected. You write that down, then the truer one. I can respond honestly and repair if needed. You choose one action. I'll reply with clarity about my concern and a proposed fix. You send a 2-sentence message. Done. Now, common mistakes. The big one is skipping safety. People try to be brave without a container, flood, and conclude. Feeling makes it worse. It wasn't feeling, it was dose. Another is jumping to lesson hunting midwave. What's the teaching here? That pulls you into your head and freezes the process. Save meaning for after the exhale happens on its own. Also, beware of turning phases into rules. Flexibility is a sign of integration. A microstory to ground this. A client used to reframe instantly. Everything is perfect. Their body, though, was rigid during conflict. We ran the method. Safety, orient, exhale, time box. Contact, a buzzing in the belly, pendulate with hand on heart. Meaning, it's okay if they're upset, I can stay. 2 weeks later, their partner said, you're actually here now. The difference wasn't nicer words. It was a completed wave and a new behavior. Let me give you a quick starter template. Before, 2 calming breaths, scan the room, set a timer. During, name 1 sensation, pendulate twice, allow any natural impulse. After, write 1 sentence of updated belief and take 1 action. That's it. Repeat small and often. You're teaching your system that feeling is survivable and useful. Remember, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. If you go slow enough to stay, you'll go fast enough to change. Phase 1, safety, nervous system first aid. Safety isn't about feeling amazing. It's about creating enough stability that your body says, we can be here. Without that, you'll either clamp down or flood. So we start simple, orienting, boundaries, resources, and co-regulation. Think of this as first aid for your nervous system. Fast, practical, repeatable. Begin with orienting. Let your eyes slowly scan the room. Name 5 cues of safety out loud or in your mind. The light on the wall, the texture of the couch, the weight of your body in the chair, the scent of tea, distant traffic. Orienting tells your survival system, we're not in danger right now. Then lengthen your exhale. Inhale. Naturally, exhale just a beat longer. Maybe a count of 4 out, 3 in. 2 or 3 breaths like that reduce arousal enough to think and feel. Now set boundaries with time and consent. Time box the practice. 10 minutes is plenty. Say to yourself, I'm choosing to feel a little, not everything. Have an exit plan. If intensity spikes, you'll pause, stand up, look around, drink water, or text a friend. Place a safe object nearby. A soft hoodie, a stone, a photo. That object becomes a reliable anchor if your attention wobbles. Consent matters. Check in. Do I have enough capacity to touch this for a few minutes? If the answer's no, you build capacity first and return later. Next is your resource stack. 3 quick categories: breath, posture, temperature. For breath, stick to longer exhales. You're not forcing calm.